Islam, Islam, Islam. Hotep, hotep, hotep. Assalamu alaikum, assalamu alaikum, assalamu alaikum. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Alafia, alafia, alafia. Que pasa, que pasa, que pasa. Power to the people, power to the people, power to the people. How y'all doing? How you doing? How you doing? Peace, peace, peace. Grand rising, grand rising, grand rising. Greetings, greetings, greetings. I'd like to give a shout out to my Moorishe family, my Muslim family, my Ifa family, Tai Chi family, my Muslim family, my Rastafarian family, my Cosmic family, my Tarot family, my Nation of God and Earth family, my Black Panther family, my Israelite family. I like to give honor to my family all over the world. I also like to give honor to my earthly family and my divine family. Family, 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 family. I'm hoping everybody's doing well today and in a peaceful and a high vibrational state of mind. You see, we often forget that there's a war going on in heaven. Okay? We're not at war, but do mean contrary. I'm saying we are not at war with any people or person. Okay? But a lot of people are at war with themselves. They fighting an inner war. They fighting a spiritual war between their higher self and their lower self, between their devil and their God, between the positive energy and the negative energy. And a lot of people losing. Some people maintaining and some people winning. You know what I'm saying? A great deal. I give honor to each and every one of you who acknowledge that you are at war with yourself because you are aware every day and are mindful to not let that devil, that low vibrational energy, to get the best of you. Okay? But to win your inner war, you have to increase your knowledge. You have to increase your knowledge of positivity, and you have to increase your knowledge of negativity. You got to know both. How you going to defeat an enemy that you don't know nothing about? How, fam? You go every day ignoring your enemy as if your enemy going to just leave you alone. Only way your enemy going to leave you alone is your enemy got you in his or her back pocket or one of their pockets. You know what I'm saying? And you're not fighting to get out. Okay? Now, the only person or individual who the enemy going to go after is the ones that don't get along with the enemy. Don't do what the enemy wants you to do. Okay? And when I say enemy, I'm talking about the enemy within, the inner foe. Okay? The lesson say, I just heard on top of my mind. Yeah. Without a foe, a soldier never knows his strength. Without a foe, if you got a foe, you got to know your foe. in order to overcome your foe. And thought must be developed by the exercise of strength. You got to constructive thinking. You have to equip yourself, as they say in Scripture, with the armor of the Most High Mother and Father. Because if you don't have your armor on, it means you ain't ready for the war within. And if you ain't ready for the war within, it means you lost from the jump. So in other words, why are you complaining? When you're submitting to the low vibrational energy within, you're submitting to the negativity. You are bowing down to Satan. You are bowing down to the devil. You see, I share this knowledge because I know a lot of people are existing. I'm not going to say you're living because you're not living. Okay? Because to live, you know what I'm saying, means you got life in you. To have life in you, it means you have knowledge, you have wisdom, and you have over and understanding into the knowledge of self, your higher self and your lower self. Okay? And when you have knowledge of self, you are abundant. You are spiritually rich. You are spiritually wealthy. Okay? And with that wealth, you conquer all. Okay? And a lot of y'all don't have knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Because your mind stays idle. And we know an idle mind is the devil's workshop. What the devil doing, having his workshop in your mind. When your book tells you, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all things will be added unto you. So if you seeking the kingdom of heaven, the devil ain't around. You know what I'm saying? He ain't working inside of you. Got his shop posted up inside of you with all this tools. You know what I'm saying? With the alcohol, with the drugs, with the physical tools of destruction, with the mental tools of destruction, impatience, ego, hate, jealousy, envy, you know, biting, gossiping, betrayal, and all the other negativity and low vibrational energy that you see and hear and find people and persons indulging in. You know, see, we often want one thing, but we do another because we don't know no better. Because we wasn't raised right. We weren't raised right, fam. And a lot of y'all don't even want to acknowledge that. You think you knocking your mama. You think you knocking your father. You don't knock nobody when you're telling the truth. And when you face the truth shall set you free. If you can't acknowledge the truth, it's because you're causing your ego. It's the reason why you're not free from the very thing that imprisons you within your mind. And that's why my messages are for those that are seekers, those who are light bringers, those who are curse breakers, those who are seekers of the truth, as I haven't always said that, those who strive daily to be better, do better, and know better, and not particularly in that order, okay? But covering each aspect, okay? So my objective is to inspire, motivate, and encourage people, because guess what? The people around you don't do it. The people around you don't do it. And if the people around you are not doing it, why are you calling them your friends? Why are you calling them your family? Why are you even wasting your time around them? You see what I'm saying? If it doesn't serve a higher purpose or constructive purpose. You know, it's like the blind leading the blind. Don't make sense, it do it. It don't add up. You know. But you got people that you're around that operate 24/7 in their ego, pretending that they know what they're saying out their mouth, when in actuality they know very little of what comes out their mouth. They just talk to be talking. They talk to hear themselves talk, you know, and they talk more than they listen. Matter of fact, they don't even know what it means to listen. They run their mouth so much. But you constantly find yourself around them. Because we used to living a lie. We used to living an illusion. And illusions pass away. Lies pass away. Which means your life has no substance. It has no worth. It has no value because you're not giving it none. You have an opportunity to be around those who are valuable. You got the opportunity to be around those who are knowledgeable. You got the opportunity to be around those who are wise. But you've been taught and programmed to shun them, to disregard them, to perceive them as no fun, as if life is supposed to be filled with fun and games. Basketball, football, domino, chess. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with any of them, because most of them I like to participate in. But guess what? I haven't made the time or had the time to participate in them lately and for a long time. Why? Because I've been busy doing the Most High Mother and Father's work. And as I'm being busy doing the Most High Mother and Father's work, those who that I used to be around don't want to be around me. You know what I'm saying? You know, which is a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Because rejection sometimes, as they say, is God's protection. Okay? Because I don't like my time wasted. I don't like my energy wasted, you know. And I prefer to participate in fun and games with those that know how to participate in moderation, you know, participate with wisdom, participate with consciousness. You know what I'm saying? It means you keep it clean, you keep it respectful, and you have a good time. You know what I'm saying? You know, in the process, you keep knowledge, wisdom, and understanding while you're having fun. Because it's fun being enlightened. It's fun being aware. It's fun being conscious. You know? It's just we're not taught that. So therefore, there's a conflict going on in our mind. And that conflict also represents the war that's going on in heaven. Because you are conflicted within yourself. Okay? You'll see I'm fully dressed because it is cold. Okay? Yeah, somewhere where there's no heat. Okay? At the moment. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you got to go through things that are difficult until we figure out how to make things undifficult, make things easy, you know. And it's a mental thing, it ain't a physical thing. a lot of things we think, or a lot of problems we have, or situations we find ourselves in, we think it's easier to just go and work for somebody, go work for the enemy, go work for the corporation, and continue to make them rich when they're going to take their riches and turn around and spend it to make their foot even heavier on your neck. Don't make no sense to me. You know, that's why I try to do everything in moderation. Everything in moderation, and keep my focus on my mission. You know, and I don't often share my mission because everybody won't understand my mission. You know, and sometimes, well, the scriptures say don't give your pearls to swine. A lot of people don't want to hear that. Oh, no, they always got something to say. Regardless of what you say, they got something sarcastic, smart aleck, you know what I'm saying, or low vibrational to say to your knowledge, wisdom, over understanding. You know what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of times it's just best to stay silent. You know, especially when you're talking to somebody in person. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been programmed to argue. We've been programmed to keep animosity going. We've been programmed to keep conflict between those that we say we love, those that we say are family, those that we say are friends. You ain't supposed to be fighting with your friends on no daily basis. You ain't supposed to be fighting with your family on no daily basis. You ain't supposed to be even in a state of conflict within yourself on a daily basis. See, a lot of people, they don't know how to express kind words, loving words, gentle words, words of encouragement, words of inspiration, or words of motivation. They don't know how to do it because the devil got his arm around their neck and choking them out. You know? And you got some people that like to be negative, and then when you take offense to their negativity, guess what they got to say? Oh, you know I was just playing with you. When do we ever play with negativity? We did that as children when we didn't have no understanding. Scriptures say, when I was a child, I thought as a child, I understood as a child, so I acted like a child. But when I became a man, when I became a woman, I put all childish things. It says all, not some, all childish things away. So why are you still playing? And your ass 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years old. It's because you worship the devil. You worship the devil and you don't want to let him go. You love your relationship with the devil. You know what I'm saying? You love negativity. You love conflict. You love animosity. Keep it real with yourself so the truth shall set you free. And if you don't want to be free, keep playing. But I'm going to tell you something. You shall reap what you sow. And you're going to get that ass spanked. See, a lot of y'all ass been spanked because you have no peace within your soul. Some of y'all can't even sleep at night. You know what I'm saying? You wake up miserable and you go to bed miserable. And in between, you pretend to be happy. You pretend to be okay. And that's why you're always trying to cause somebody else conflict. Cause somebody else, trying to disturb somebody else's peace by saying something slick, sarcastic, and hateful. Because you have no love in your heart. You don't even know what love is. If it smacks you in your face 1,000 times, you wouldn't recognize it. You know. But that's unfortunate, but yet it may be the way you choose it to be because it is your choice. Because you waste your time, your spare time every day in sport and play and unconstructive things when you could be seeking the knowledge of the Most High Mother and Father. You can be seeking the knowledge of God. You could be listening to motivational music. You can be listening to music that soothes your mind from the discomfort that you feel.
And I say that to say that for every problem that you have, there's many answers. There's many solutions. But you don't do what your book say. You don't do what you hear them say in the church. And that's seek and ye shall find. Seek your solution and you'll find your solution, family. See, how they say it, you preach God, but you don't practice God. You know, you worship him with voice and lip, but your hearts are far away and set on gold, set on materialistic things, set on causing confusion. In other words, you don't practice what you preach, fam. If you folks don't practice what you preach, then you'll have peace in your heart. You will be happy every day. The sun will shine in your mind 24/7. But you got to be careful. Don't let that devil in. You let that devil in, you already know what you're going to get. You know, the prophet Noble Ali said, if I can get my people to think, they will save themselves. Think. See, I'm learning to think more. I'm still processing and learning and growing. I don't know everything, but what I do know, I stand on. I be about that. Win, lose, or draw. You know what I'm saying? Under all conditions, it don't matter. But one thing I'm not going to do is sell my soul. Not going to sell my soul. Okay? I'm not going to allow others to disturb my peace for the most part. I slip up sometimes, but I correct myself. You know what I'm saying? I learn to do better. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always correcting myself when I see my error, because I'm always analyzing my situation. I'm always analyzing my responses. I'm always analyzing what people say to me and what people do to me, so I can identify the truth and not the illusion that I'm trying to be sold. You see what I'm saying? And if you do the same thing, it can benefit you. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, fam, peace, love, and happiness. I just want to get on here and share a word. I've been through some experiences, and I guess sometimes we can get complacent or get too comfortable somewhere that we're really not supposed to be. And sometimes you don't realize your time is up until your time is up. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you got to keep it moving in order for you to get to where you're trying to go and where you need to be. Okay? And it ain't always clear, you know, so you don't always make the decision when you need to. But when it's time to move, it's time to move. When it's time to move forward, it's time to move forward. And it's important to always be in a state of mind of moving forward. Because if you ain't moving forward, then you're going backwards. Nobody wants to go backwards. But if you have to go backwards, make sure however many steps you go backwards, you triple it once you take that step forward. You know what I'm saying? So it's worth your time and energy. Okay? With that being said, I hope that my knowledge, wisdom, and over understanding was inspiration, motivation, and inspiring to you. And if I didn't start out with this, I am Chief Justice Duran Edward Merle Bay, in Capitis Diminutio Nolo, in red ink, in proper prio persona su Jewish, in proper prio solo, and in proper prio heredis. I and all Moors are the landowners, are the supreme law of the land. We are the creditors. We are the fiduciaries, and we are the law. We are the United States for America. There's no authority greater than us, fam. When you know who you are, you can get in accord and in line with that. With that being said, peace and grand rising, peace and grand rising, peace and grand rising.